Hi there. Just another video. Just put my laundry up, brand new, cleaned and washed. I'm surprised this comment hasn't come up in the at the end of videos really very much, but I found it quite confusing, and it's all about the Cambodia visa situation. This is the intro bit. In retrospect, entering Cambodia was relatively easy. But when I was researching it before I moved out here, I really was rather confused about the process and the costs and what happens. But you actually find it easier than you think it might be. But I'm recording this video in April 2026. Now, the thing I'm going to mention, and you must take note of, is that in Cambodia, processes, procedures can change very quickly, and the information doesn't always get through to other parts of the country. Not like in the West where it's instantaneous. It doesn't happen here. But all I'm going to do is just talk about visas in general and the things you need to do before you come. So that's the intro bit. I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment. So let's talk about visa types. There are two main types of visa required to enter Cambodia. You can either get a tourist visa, which is valid for 1 month from the date of issue, or you can get what I've got, which is a retirement visa. An e-visa they call it. It's also known as an ordinary visa, but it's not an electronic visa as the name would suggest. Now the tourist visa lasts for a month. You can extend it for another month. I think it's $45 to get an extra month. We'll go through that process later. I came and I wanted a retirement visa. My aim is to retire here, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not leaving this country, ever. I'm not going back to the UK anyway. So tourist visas we've covered, right? The e-visa, the ordinary visa, it's also known as the ordinary visa. There are two types. There's the ER visa and there's the EB visa. Now the ER visa is the retirement visa, which is what I'm on. The EB visa is for business visa, really. You're not really allowed to do a job in Cambodia that a local can do, but you can do other jobs. I know that a lot of people, the easiest way probably to come on an EB visa is to get a TEFL certificate, Teaching English as a Foreign Language. It's probably the easiest way to get there. But I'm looking for a retirement visa. So the requirements for a retirement visa, I've got to be over 55. I am. You don't need any proof of income, which is surprising. You look at Thailand and other places, and you do. You obviously need a valid passport. You need the right visa. We'll talk about that in a bit. And that's basically it. Once you've got those and you're in. All you've got to do is renew your visa every year. So in this video, we're basically going to talk about e-visas, retirement visas. But if you are doing the business visa bit, you've got a TEFL or what, then go that route. But the process is going to be the same. So those are the types of visas. So, how do you go about getting your visa? The websites or the videos you might see, whatever, will say you can get a visa on arrival. I thought I was being clever and didn't. I got mine before I arrived. There's more about that later when you watch on. The important thing to note is that if you do get it on arrival, you need to bring the exact amount, and it's got to be in US dollars. No other currencies accepted. And try and get the exact amount, because if you've got change, if you want change, you're probably not going to get it. They're not in the habit of giving change. Also, the price may vary. I would allow between $30 and $40, depending on the mood of the whoever's taking the money off you, because they may charge a stamping fee, they may charge all sorts of fees. Depends how they feel. Depends on their mood. As well as getting that visa, you'll need within 7 days of somewhere or other to get an arrival form filled in. I believe now that there are terminals at the airport. I haven't seen them myself. I did mine online beforehand. And that will ask you for the basic questions all arrival forms ask for, which is your health status, etc. If you do need an address where you're staying at, I'm going to put you an address on the screen, or you can do what I did, and that's I booked a couple of nights in a guest house in Siem Reap through booking.com. You can use it, or you can use whatever you want, as long as you've got their details, so you can put it in. When you do arrive at a guest house or whatever, you've got to show them your passport, and they will log that anyway. So I don't see anything that really matters. But if you do need an address, I'll put an address on screen for you that you can use. It doesn't get checked, so don't worry about it, because you will be logged in as soon as you stay somewhere, because they will just take your passport and put their details in, and that's about it. So, how do you get your visa? I did mine online beforehand, and I ran into a problem. I'll come to that after. But you can get it on entry, but have the right money, and it's got to be US dollars. Cambodian currency, real won't work, and you won't get real anyway in England. So what the hell, or in the Western world, you only get it in Cambodia. Okay, so I'll see you for the next bit. So you got your initial visa, both the T visa, which is the tourist visa, and the E visa, the ordinary visa. They both last initially 1 month. The T visa can be extended by 1 extra month. I think the cost is $45 US. The ordinary visa, the E visa, which is what I did, you can get that extended from 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. The price of the E visa, the ER visa, or the long-term visa, goes cheaper the longer you do it for. Now I got mine for 12 months. Cost me $300 or just about. And the process is the same for both the T visa for 1 month and the E visa for 3, 6 or 12. Both of them involve sending your passport to Phnom Penh. You can take it if you want, if you're daft enough, or you can just go to a reputable travel agent. I used Camp Smile in Siem Reap, but other travel agents will do the same. And what they do is they courier it to Phnom Penh, goes to the immigration department, put you a sticker in your passport, which gives you the authority that you need for that extension. Bear in mind that if you do overstay in Cambodia, you get charged $10 per day, so be careful of that. Don't think you're going to get away with it, because you're not. And people have been caught out with that several times. In Siem Reap, I used a company called Camp Smile. And I got my visa back within about 5 or 6 working days, with a little sticker in about 2.5 centimetres by 1.5, something like that. Usually bigger than that, I believe, but now it's quite a lot smaller, so you don't need a massive passport, an extended passport for it. And there you are, and that's it. And it's both the same. You have to do it through Phnom Penh to both extend a T visa, tourist visa, and an E visa, or an ER visa in my case. and the same applies for an EB visa, I presume. So just go to the travel agent, leave a couple of weeks before your visa runs out, before you do it. Don't leave it too late. And it usually is actually dated from when you put the visa with the travel agent. So, but don't leave it right at the last minute, whatever you do. Okay. There is one little bit I left off the previous bit on the visa extensions. That if you do get a 3-month extension on an e-visa, it's actually only a single entry. So you can only leave Cambodia once or come back into Cambodia once. Otherwise you're stuck, you have to get a new visa. If you get the 6 or the 12 month, it's multiple entry, which is really good because it means that you can actually move to Cambodia and use it as a base and travel around other countries, Southeast Asian countries or anywhere, and come back into Cambodia without any problem on that same visa. So that's just that. The other bit we're going to do now is this has caught some people out and some people not out, which is proof of onward travel. I think I got asked this question on a form somewhere, and I just left the field blank, and it seemed to process it okay. Other people have had problems, and you can go on forums, you can go on YouTube, you can look at various bits and pieces. If you ever are worried about this, then the general advice is to book a bus journey to Vietnam from wherever, but make sure it's a refundable journey. So you book your journey in advance before your visas run out or whatever. And then as soon as you get to Cambodia or into Cambodia, you refund it. I know it's a bit of a faff, but it is a workaround. It didn't catch me out. I just left the field blank, I think, and it just went through. I did see it, but I can't remember which bloody form it's on. Anyway, so there you go. Next bit of the video will be my experience of actually coming here. So that should be interesting, shouldn't it? Right, here we are now to the nitty-gritty part of the video. My experience. Oh dear. Everything was really going smoothly until it didn't. So this is just to tell you how my journey went. Going from Manchester Airport to Siem Reap Airport. First leg of my flight was from Manchester to Changi Airport, Singapore. I could have gone Thailand, and there wasn't any trouble at the time, but I just thought, I'm not going to risk it. And from what I'd read and heard, that Changi Airport was actually very well worth looking at. And although the layover was longer, I think it was 6 hours in Singapore as opposed to about 2.5 in Thailand. I'm only going to do this once, aren't I? So I might as well have the 6 hours in Changi Airport. Okay, I'm only doing it once, might as well see it. Right, so the first leg of my journey, right, was from Manchester Ringway to Singapore Changi Airport. And I booked both flights with the same airline. So I didn't really have to bother about my luggage, it was going to get transferred automatically. Anyway, so I arrived my obligatory 3 hours before, because it's a long haul flight at Manchester Airport. My flight from Manchester Airport was about 10 o'clock, I think, from memory. So I get there about 7. I got a free lift out of the marina by a good friend, Michelle. I greatly thank you very much. And arrive at Manchester Airport with my 3 hours to spare. Now airports change more often than I change my underwear. Every time I go to an airport is different than the last time I went to it. Anyway, one of the staff at Manchester Airport was very helpful, helped me get my boarding pass, helped me check my bag in, As I was messing about, looking around and having loads of time to spare in Manchester Airport, I noticed that there was assisted check-ins. And I looked at the eligibility of those, and I realised that I actually fitted one of the eligibilities, which was being over 70. Oh no. Yes. So I thought, well, I might as well join the queue. And I'm glad I did. And if you're in the same, if you fit that eligibility, do it. It's completely free. So I'll tell you how that quickly went. Joined the queue. In the queue for about 10-15 minutes. Showed them my passport, showed that I'm over 70. So all I had to do, didn't need a disability. If you've got a disability, you can probably do it without. But I was doing it on the over 70 basis. And after sitting there for about 20 minutes, waiting, a young chap came up and he took me and another elderly lady down a different way than the normal way you go to the customs hall, etc. Into a very, very short queue. Went through very, very quickly, was helped all the way. Got through the queue. The same guy then assisted us to the actual boarding gate. And because my legs aren't brilliant at walking long distances, he got us an electrified trolley. My goodness me. Anyway, when we got to the boarding gate, me and this elderly lady who was accompanying me, and I didn't know her name, we didn't really speak. And we actually got on board this plane before everybody else. Absolutely bloody amazing. So if you do get in that situation, you're eligible, go for it. It's well worth it. Really, it takes loads of time and loads of bother and hassle out of everything. So we get on the plane before everybody else. Luckily, I had a window seat. So I didn't have anybody climbing over me or anything. I didn't have to get up or anything. I just sat in my seat and there I was. 13 hours later, after a few... Oh, by the way, I went with Singapore Air and their wines are free. Ha! So a couple of glasses of wine. 13 hours to Changi Airport. Get off the plane, into a beautiful airport. Don't forget that I'd left UK at like some stupid hour in the morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was about 2 or 3 degrees, maybe 4 perhaps at best. So I had a big coat on, I had a jumper on. I get to Singapore, it's like 25 degrees. That's in the airport, it was probably warmer outside. So the big coat and the cardigan got ditched, got thrown in the bin anyway. Had a couple of coffees in Changi Airport, not cheap by the way. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I do it once. I had to wait 6 hours before my connecting flight. But I didn't have to take any suitcase, I didn't have to collect a suitcase to do anything. It got transferred from one plane to the next, flying with the same airline, and got on board the plane. No problem at all at Changi Airport. A 737 this time. Came over from Manchester on an Airbus. Out to Changi to Siem Reap on a 737. This is about a 2-hour flight, I think. And there it was. Arrived at Siem Reap Airport 2 hours later. Hassle-free. Apart from the American that annoyed me on the flight, but it doesn't matter. We're not going into that. I think there's an earlier video of it. That gets mentioned in. And there we are. So I arrived. And that was it. I'm here. Just that the last bits will come in a minute. So when I arrived at Siem Reap, being a smart ass that I am, of course I am, I'd printed my e-visa off in advance on a laser printer on the boat. So I'd get to Siem Reap Airport, which is relatively new, it has no real signs about it at the time, it probably has now. Found the immigration queue, joined it, got to the desk, and my bloody visa wouldn't scan, would it? Your contrast is too low. Anyway, luckily, one of the survivors saw my dilemma and said, well, I'll help you out. So he looked at my e-visa and said, yeah, your contrast's a bit low on it. It's not going to scan on our scanners. So he went away, checked that I'd paid, which I had, online, sorted it out and got me through anyway. And I'm now in Cambodia, officially. I'm through customs, I'm through immigration, I'm through the frigging lot. And there's the early video that shows me doing the next bits. But I'll leave it at that. But I got there anyway. But just be careful if you do decide to print an entry visa off. Make sure you got high contrast on it, because I didn't. It's my only trip up on the journey. Anyway, I'm here now. So I've been here now 6 months, moving twice, 3 times, and I'm absolutely loving it. Best move I ever made. Should have made it when I got to 55 instead of somewhere nearer, anyway, in my 70s. So, bye-bye for now. If you do get the chance to get here, do come. It's a lovely country, lovely people. You'll have the time of your life here. Oh, I honestly, you believe it, believe me. So, bye-bye for now. Hello. Just an updated outro, really. I'm in Campot. It's filmed in the Campot apartment, boutique apartment, studio apartment, whatever you want to call it. It's from my room in I think it's called the Inthanu, which in Khmer translates to English as Rainbow Boutique Hotel. Anyway, we're up to about 540 subscribers. We've got to get to 1,000 before we make any money. And as I've said before, and any money I make off YouTube is going to go straight to kids of Cambodia to help with their education. They need it. I don't. I can't take it with me. I had a commenter suggesting that I go on coffee.com or whatever it is and buy me a coffee and all that. And then I just said, I don't really need the money. What am I going to do with the money? I mean, I could be reckless and spend what I've got in Cambodia. Why bother? I'd rather just give it to the Cambodian education system. Not on me, I don't need a motorbike. I can just go in a tuk-tuk. What the hell? Anyway, so if you want other people to see the video, just give it a like. It doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to be nice, you can subscribe when I get to 1,000 and start earning tiny bits of money. Never know your luck, do you? Anyway, and that's basically it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll try and make as many as I can. But I'm in Campos at the moment. Sun's bloody shy. I'm seeing raindrops in this bloody November. It does rain, but during the night, I think. Tiny bit cooler than Siem Reap. That's it. And bye for now. Thank you for watching.